Good morning. My name is Julie Dilla, and I'm the Executive Director for the Hotel Association of Tarrant County, or it's often known as HATC. We have lots of acronyms in our industry. So thank you for joining us today and taking the time to hear about the hotel industry. HATC is the trade association for hoteliers in Tarrant County, and it's our purpose to advocate or represent hoteliers on the local government level, and we serve as a resource hub to hoteliers to keep them up to date on current trends that pertain to the hospitality industry. I have worked for the association as my full-time job for the past 11 years, and prior to that, I was a hotelier. I've worked in every single department of a hotel, and I really enjoyed learning about all the different things that each department did to make the entire operation work together as a team. And I think the one thing that I loved the most about working in the hotel is that it was fun. I made lifelong friends with everyone that I worked with over the years and in the industry. And I guess the best part about going to work every day that it was like I was hanging out with my friends, and we worked hard together as a team, and it didn't even make it seem like work when I went to my job every day, because we were having a good time working hard right along beside each other. But that is enough about me. I want to introduce you to a panel of industry experts. We have a couple that are about to join in, but I'm going to tell you that taking the time to speak with us today are some real dynamic people and leaders in our industry right here in Tarrant County. So we have with us Laura Pacioni from Hotel Vin, and we're going to be joined by Nikki Burton from the Gaylord and Mike Reisinger from Benchmark Hospitality. So welcome to everyone that's speaking and listening again. What I'd like for each of the panelists to do is maybe share with us some information on why each of you chose to go into the hospitality field, and tell us a little bit more about your experience as a hotelier, and maybe why you think it's beneficial for students to join the hospitality industry. So let's start with Laura Pacioni from Hotel Vin. Laura, you want to give us a little glimpse into the hospitality industry?
Yeah, of course. So like Julie said, my name is Laura. I am the Human Resources Manager for Hotel Vin in Harvest Hall, located right on Main Street in downtown Grapevine. And so we're at that entrance to the historic district. I was on the opening team here. So I started at the property in May 2020. And it was just been a crazy time opening the hotel. But it's been a lot of fun, and you meet a lot of amazing people. A little bit about me and my backstory of how I got into hospitality. My family is involved in hospitality, so really growing up, I stayed in a lot of great hotels, and I was always aware of the industry and how much it had to offer, and how there were so many different steps to running a hotel that most people don't even realize happen. So I was always aware that it was a great career path, but I was never really sure if it was going to be for me until a little bit later. But I grew up being very aware of what great service looks like, and what great customer service should be, and how you should treat people in customer service, just because of my family's involvement. So that really drew me to customer service roles when I started working. I had started working when I was 15 out of Baskin-Robbins. That was my first job. And then once I got to college, I went to Boise State University and majored in psychology because I knew I wanted to work with people. So going off of that hospitality background again, I knew that people were going to be involved in my job, but I just wasn't really sure how it was going to happen. So during college, I worked several different jobs. I worked at a tanning salon. I worked at front desk at an emergency room, checking people in. I was at a data center as their office manager and operations manager. So I did a lot of different things, different industries, and nothing was really, what I wanted to be. I wasn't really finding that passion in what I was doing. And that's what I was searching for. So when a few years after I graduated, it was time to start looking into, okay, what do I want my career to be in? What do I want to build a reputation in and start building my skills in? And I was brought back into hotels as If I said I wanted to work with people, I wanted it to be a different day every day, not get stuck in a routine, not be bored. Hotels really were checking all those boxes, and also gave me the opportunity that if I started in one part of the hotel, I could still be in hospitality, and maybe that department wasn't for me, but I could move on to a different department and still be in the same company if I loved it. So I took a job as an HR coordinator in Texas. So that's actually what brought me to Texas. I was at the Dallas-Fort Worth Marriott Westlake. So just right up, kind of up the road from where I am now. And I learned a ton about what it takes to run a hotel and about all the people that were there. And then within a year, I ended up getting this job that I'm currently in right now, that I've been in for 2 years, as the HR manager for Hotel Vin, and being able to open the property. So that's kind of how I got here. And the reason why I love it and why I stay really is that people factor, just as Julie was saying. I think that this industry attracts the most passionate people and the most hardworking people that you'll work with. It's people who are craving that, meaning in their jobs. And that's what I really love, to be around those types of people. So having that, and that every day is different, all the people you work with are different, and it's never boring, for sure. So that is how I got into hotels and why I think it's a great industry.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. It definitely is getting to work with people. It's really that's one of the keys of why you stay for so long when you work in this industry, is that the relationships that you make. It's a really, yes. So thank you for sharing that so much. We appreciate it. How about we next invite Nikki Burton from the Gaylord Texan to speak to us. Nikki, do you have any words of wisdom for us about the hotel industry and your start and involvement? Tell us a little bit about what you've got going on.
Sure. Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Nikki Burton. I'm with the Gaylord Texan here in Grapevine, Texas. I'm actually really new to this hospitality industry. And I'll share a little bit how I got involved. Actually, during my high school years, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I did go to college for a little bit, and I tried different restaurants to work at and whatnot. I worked at Putt and all these fun places, Six Flags actually. So I did, that's kind of hospitality. So I did enjoy it. I then joined the military, and I recently retired after 22 years. When the pandemic hit, everybody stopped working for a while, for about a year. And then I realized, hey, I want to get back into the workforce. Fortunately, during my military time, I got to work with the services industry within the military, within the Air Force. And that's what, brought light to what the hospitality industry really was. And so I got to work with lodging, which was our hotels in the military, with food and beverage industry, which was our dining facilities in the military. So when I saw this opportunity as a senior administrative assistant here at the Gaylord, I applied and I got the job. I stayed there for a few months, and now I'm a human resources generalist here at the Gaylord Texan, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a great experience. You meet so many people, and there's just a diversity, here at the Gaylord, especially with different types of jobs that we have here. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Do you want me to go ahead and talk about the different jobs that we have right now? So here at the Gaylord, it's not just about housekeeping and front desk lobbyists. It's we have a wide variety, a wide range of different opportunities. Like I started as an administrator. We have cooks, of course. We have sous chefs. We have servers. Everything in the food and beverage industry we have here. Hostesses, server assistants. We also are known for our convention center and our banquets. So we have event planning. We have banquet, servers and runners. We also have right now, with the holiday coming up, we're known for our big holiday extravaganza. We have, we'll put up decorations, and it's a beautiful place to be. We have over 2 million Christmas lights going on, 27-foot trees. If you're interested in events and coordinating that kind of stuff and activities, we're hiring seasonally right now for activity coordinators, for ticketing and retail as well. We also have a spa here, so those interested in the beauty industry, nail technicians, also massage therapists, and we even have a wellness coach as well. We also have the engineering side of the house. And those interested in the medical fields, we have EMTs on site, as well as loss prevention or security. And let's see what else. And we also have, like shuttle drivers, and we have the 2 pools that we have here, to include Paradise Spring, which is our water park, which is a big hit, during the summer times. And we have lifeguards and all kinds of different opportunities. So it's not just like the housekeeping and front desk. It's a big spectrum of different opportunities that we offer.
Yeah, there are so many positions in the hotel. It's a lot of
Absolutely.
people think, oh, it's just front desk, or I have to clean a room. But I think we counted at one point, and I mean, there are over hundreds of jobs, and you don't necessarily have to be a housekeeper or a server or something like that. I mean, there's even, if you like construction, that's even a part of our skill that you can use in the engineering department. And if you're good with computers, we have IT departments. So it's a big operation that we need people with all types of skills, accountants and different things like that. But thank you, Nikki, for sharing that. We're always excited to hear about the Christmas season at the Gaylord. It's really magical.
It is.
Yes. So thank you. Okay, so we have also with us Mike Reisinger from Benchmark Hospitality at Deloitte University. It's good to see you, Mike. Do you want to tell us a little bit about maybe how you got your start in the industry and your time there at Benchmark Hospitality? And I'd also like to see if I could get you to maybe talk about the career path of somebody coming into the industry, and how maybe you don't have to choose a certain route. Like, maybe touch on that a little bit. We haven't heard that yet from our panel of experts. So welcome,
Absolutely.
Michael.
Great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. So my career path started down in Florida. So I'm from Florida originally, and graduated from college in Florida. And I had always worked in hospitality through high school and college, just server, bartender, jobs that I didn't really consider a career until I graduated from college. And after college, I started working at Walt Disney World. And I started working at Walt Disney World while I looked for a real job. And it was truly at Walt Disney World that I fell in love with hospitality and really understood this could be the career for me. I've always had kind of a servant mentality that I love to see people happy and to take care of people. And I found that at Walt Disney World, I really have the opportunity to do that and just to really make magic happen with them and help them with their experiences that they have. And I truly think that's what hospitality is about, is we're helping to create lots of experiences, whether it's in restaurants or hotels or events or conferences and weddings and things along that line. So it's really about that experience and making it the best possible one. So I worked at Walt Disney World for about 10 years. That's where I also fell into training and development and human resources. From Walt Disney World, I spent a few years with Lowe's Hotels at Universal Studios, opened up some hotels there. Then I worked for Gaylord Hotels, spent about 10 years with Gaylord Hotels, in Orlando, helped open up Orlando, and was in Nashville and Washington, helped open up some hotels there. And then from Gaylord Hotels, I joined the team here at Benchmark Hospitality at Deloitte University. So Benchmark Hospitality is a management company, so we don't own any hotels. We manage them for our owners, and we're very eclectic in our brands. So we're all over the United States. And the hotel I work at is specifically, it's actually a private hotel and training center for Deloitte, which is a professional services company. And they built a hotel just for their own employees, where their training and development and meetings and orientations all take place. So we're located here in the Westlake area of Texas, so kind of by Keller and South Lake, in that area. And, from a career path within hospitality, I think is absolutely amazing. And like myself, I started in hospitality as just a job, while I looked for a real job. And I find that a lot with our employees, that they're just looking for a job, so they end up in a hotel. And the cool thing about working in hotels is we have so many jobs and so many career paths that you can take advantage of. So if you're not sure what you want to do, a hotel can be a fantastic place to get your foot in the door, whether it's a server or a busboy in a restaurant, or a cook, or event setup attendant, setting up conferences and tables and chairs and things like that, or working in housekeeping. And then from there to really see all the different aspects of a hotel and the careers that are available. So many different jobs, and to help set your career path from there. So so I say, if you don't know what you want to do, start in a hotel. There's so many stories that are just fantastic. My director of maintenance, he started as an event setup attendant just because he was setting up tables and chairs, and he saw the maintenance guys walking around. He's like, that looks cool. And then he started entry level in maintenance. And we find that in our hotel as well. To give you an idea, just in the past 2 months, we've promoted and transferred about 40 different people in our property. So, so as long as you have good work ethic, and you have a passion, then you can do just about anything in a hotel. And that's the nice part, is so much of what we do is entry level, that just to get your foot in the door, you can definitely do that and grow into the career that you want it to be. So so careers that you can have, we divide our hotel up into 3 different or 4 different main areas. You have the hotel side of things, which is like our housekeeping and front office and reservations and the bell attendants and valet parking. And that's a great career, very passionate about working with people. We have our food and beverage. So food and beverage is kind of what your passion is. You're a foodie or you like that, whether it's the front of the house as a server, bartender, busboy, or the back of the house as a culinary professional. There's the event side of things. So if you want to help set up events, plan events, coordinate events, serve events, and that could be anything from a conference to a wedding. And then there's the maintenance and administrative side of things. So if whatever you want to do in a maintenance, from very entry level, learning how to do things, up into experts such as HVAC techs or mechanics or painters or things along that line. So a wide variety of things within the hotel. Does that help, Julie?
Yes, that was exactly what we're looking for. I think too, we're willing to take questions from the class. If anybody has one, we're happy to do that. Happy to give you any more information about the hotel industry, or once you decide what you want to do, or even like Mike said, until you find your real job. We have open positions, and hotels in Tarrant County are hiring. Almost all of them are hiring. So and it's a great industry to learn from. We're willing to train people. You don't have to have skills. We provide the training as you go. So I'll give you guys one last chance if anybody has any questions.
Thanks for attending, guys. Would you mind touching on giving the students an idea of what pay scale would look like entering into the field, and then maybe an idea of what they could attain if they stay and work their way up in the field? I know it's probably different with every position, but just entry level pay scales that might help the students get an idea.
Sure. Yeah, and I think every hotel is a little different. So the size and the scope of the hotel can make a difference in pay scales. But what we're seeing in the Dallas-Fort Worth areas is many hotels. The pay scales have been increasing for those entry level positions. So you could see a pay scale of an entry level position in housekeeping anywhere from $12 to $15 an hour, just for a very entry level, no experience required, no education required type of a role. You can see that in the event setup area. Many hotels in the culinary program, entry levels, 15 or so to get into the culinary experience with no experience, and they're willing to train, and as long as you have a passion for those things. So you're starting to see those pay scales around in that $13 to $15 range for just very entry level. From there, once you really have that great work ethic, that passion to take care of our guests, you can see those pay scales increasing as well as you get promoted. So there could be, after an entry level position, might be a lead or a supervisor type position. And from there, there's assistant managers and managers, department heads in hotels. Depending on the size and the scope of the hotel, once you hit that department head status, which is a few levels up in management, I mean, it could be anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000 a year, getting into leadership committee positions, which can be pretty high up there as well. So, like I said, I have a leadership committee person on my executive committee who started as an event setup attendant, setting up tables and chairs, and saw the maintenance people walking around, and then became just a very entry-level maintenance person, and then grew within the maintenance department and became a lead and a supervisor and an assistant manager and a manager. And now he oversees a division of maintenance at our property. He's got about 40 maintenance techs that report to him, and his pay scale is way over the $100,000 range. So, so it can absolutely go up from there. So education's great, not always required though. So I think, you can get an advantage with education, but I have many people like this gentleman I'm talking about that didn't have the education, and he kind of worked his way through the experience aspect of it.
Yeah, I think going off of that too, even those entry level positions have the potential to make some really great money, because a lot of them are tip positions. So
Yeah.
Something like a banquet server or valet or server, bartender, even the support positions in the restaurant, the server assistants, the bussers, food runners, bar backs, those are usually tipped out by the bartenders or the servers. So you have that competitive base that Mike was talking about, but then also that potential, especially in restaurants that have a higher ticket price per person, there's a lot of potential to make a lot more than that on tips as well. So even entry level, you really can support yourself and have a great lifestyle too in hotels.
I'd
Yeah,
also
and
like to add, I'd also like to add just the flexibility of schedules, right? Especially for students. We have so many seasonal positions that, are great for college kids coming home, or even high school students as well, that they could do seasonally and actually stay on after the season is over, and have part-time jobs afterwards. And a lot of the hiring managers are so willing to take back seasonal employees year after year, because they have the experience and then they start growing from there. So.
Great answers, guys. Well, thank you everybody for listening today. It's our hope that you'll seek out the hotel industry as a career path, and have a great weekend.